All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Speak to the Beak. I am Tim the Ferds. I'm joined by Joe Wilson, which means we got a hockey pod incoming. And Joe, we actually have some news, not just like talk about the playoff games. There's some things going on in the middle of June. How crazy is that?
Pretty crazy.
So, listen, Ryan Nugent Hopkins just signed a deal. Um, you got some NHL awards. Obviously, you got the Stanley Cup. We're going to talk about all of that on today's episode. So I'm pretty excited. Even though, me and Joe, we just spent probably 12 plus hours with each other over the past 2 days at work. We're just out here grinding, overcoming incompetence, just like everybody else does at their job. you know, Turning a 1.5 hour task into a 7 hour task because we're unorganized and inefficient, but that's neither here nor there. So, listen, I'm ready. I know he's ready. And before we start, it's the same usual things I'm going to tell you. So, number one, let's start with a different order because if you're on YouTube, I'm going to need you to subscribe out here. All right? Like, we get a decent amount of views, but none of you subscribe. What's wrong with you? You wait for me and Joe to text you to watch the video? Like, yo, you're supposed to be our friends. Just subscribe to it. Like, come on. What are we doing out here? Or if you're friends with Lou, like, I know Lou's friends suck, but, like, you could at least hit the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds to do it. That's number one. Number two, if you're a strict audio listener only, and you're on Apple, Spotify, etc., feel free to rate and review, follow, subscribe to the podcast. It would really help us out if you did so. Once again, hitting the subscribe and follow button takes all of 5 seconds. So, like, help a guy out here. So this way we don't have to spam you. Like, hey, because you ask us, like, oh, did you drop a podcast yet? Well, maybe if you subscribed, you would know. How about that? What an idea. Check out the website, beakbrands.com. Got written content up there. We're recording this on a Wednesday, like we normally do. So this will be out on the website as well. Written content is there. I see our friends on the Twitter machine, big fans of the fantasy baseball waiver wire column every week. So if you're interested in that, check out the website. It normally drops on Thursday or Friday of the week. And follow Beak Brands on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. All right. Twitter and Facebook, like we've said before on the show, automatically post things the second they're posted. So if you are one of those instant gratification people and you need the information right this second, those might be the platforms for you. And obviously, if you want to interact with me and Joe over here, Instagram would be the place to be for that. So I'm at Tim Ferdinand. He's at Joe Wilson 24. 2 E's on the Joe. I'm ready. So let's hop right into it. So first thing, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, big contract for NHL standards. 8 years, which is a very long time, number one, and he got a decent amount of money, 41 million. So Joe, where do you stand on the Ryan Nugent Hopkins contract extension?
I thought the price for his contract was pretty fair. I mean, he has 4 20-goal seasons. He put up like 60 something points last season, had 40 something points in like 50 something games this season. So I thought the price wasn't too bad. I just thought 8 years for a 28-year-old player, I believe he is. I thought that was a bit much. And I thought making that signing right now is like maybe just did it to get out of the way, but I feel like Edmonton has a lot bigger issues that they need to handle than Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Yeah, so when I first, it actually happened yesterday when we got out of work, and I like saw it initially, and I was like, "What is happening?" I was like dazed and confused. It was like 100 degrees.
It
We just did manual labor for like 6 hours, and I like couldn't think straight. So I'm like, "Yeah, let me not look at it for a while, and then come revisit it." I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I guess
Oh
I
yeah,
agree. The money is fair. But like, am I really about to give 8 years to Ryan Nugent Hopkins? Like, I don't think I would do that.
yeah. I don't know if I'd do that either. Probably wouldn't do that honestly. Maybe like four, 4 or 5 max.
Because I feel like
Get the rest
he's like a
of the time in Edmonton.
solid player, but he's not like like awesome or anything.
It's not like he can do it all by himself. Like, he needs like talented people to be with, I feel like.
Yeah, and we have some stats to back that up in case you're like one of these Edmonton Oiler fans that may or may not listen to this. Uh, he's a negative 48 player for his career. And Joe brought up before, like, yeah, that's what happens when you play for the Edmonton Oilers. But even like they made the playoffs this year, he was -4. They made the playoffs 2 years ago. He was -13. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just don't know if I'm
No.
sold on him. Like, I get it. He's like solid, but like,
Been there since he's 18, like 10 years now.
okay,
Guess
yeah,
they just want to lock him up for
I,
the rest of his career, I guess.
I guess so. I don't know. If I feel like if I was Edmonton, I'm like, listen, we need to
We have
get.
two of like the best 5 to 10 players in the league, and Draisaitl and McDavid. Like, why don't we just get depth and a good defense so that we could actually go on a run?
That's what
'Cause
I
Mike
was gonna
Smith,
say. Yeah. The reason they
but,
can't
like,
win in the playoffs is their defense sucks and their goaltending is spotty.
yeah, very spotty. I agree with that statement.
And now we're out here giving Ryan Nugent Hopkins $41 million in a salary cap league. And if you're not a big hockey guy and you're casual, so like at Hunter Arm right here, who listens to us from time to time, he's not a big hockey guy. He's probably like 8 years, 41 million. That's a bargain. Well, not in hockey terms, it's not because McDavid's like the highest player in the league, and what's his contract worth per season? Not much compared to other sports like star players. Tatis is out here getting like $340 million, and McDavid's hands down the best player in hockey. He doesn't even come close to that on an annual like per year.
I know Eichel's is 10 a year. McDavid's might be 12.5.
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
But yeah, it's nuts how like NHL's like pay is compared to the other sports.
Yeah. So I guess me and Joe are both kind of split on the Ryan Nugent Hopkins thing. Like we don't love it, but we don't hate it.
Absolutely hate it, but definitely I wouldn't have done it. 8 years is too long.
Yeah. We're both on the it's not ideal, but I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some awards. Yesterday, there were some awards handed out. Joe hit me immediately with some hate mail, and I didn't even tell him what part of the argument I liked. He just assumed that I was on the other side. I guess this man was personally attacking me. So let's just go with the ones that I think we agree on first. All right, so number one, Connor McDavid won the Hart Trophy, which, if you're a noob to this, is the MVP. He was the second ever player to do it unanimously. He had 100 of the first place votes. Did you think there was any shot, once he had the 100-point mark, that there was even going to be a competition for this award?
No, not at all.
No. Yeah, just nice and short to the point. No, it's just no. He's the best player in the league. He's going to win this. Look, I feel this way with the NBA, with LeBron James for the past like 12 years. And I'm sure people in the 90s felt the same way with Michael Jordan, you know, like they should, once they roll out of bed, like just give them the MVP award because it's like clearly evident that they're the best player in the league. And right now for hockey, that's Connor McDavid. He should win the Hart Trophy next year. He should win the Hart Trophy the year after that. He should win the Hart Trophy the year after that. And just keep going until he gets injured or someone puts up like 160 points. Because realistically, that's what it's going to take to beat him. He just put up 100-plus points in 56 games. That's insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. Too bad team sucks.
Listen, Joe. We're not here to flame the Edmonton Oilers, all right? We're trying to talk about Connor McDavid.
Nah, yeah.
But do you agree with that? Because that's kind of how I look at. Sorry, that was not a pleasant sight for the video audience there. That's kind of how I look at awards. Like, the way I measure value is just like if I picked up that player and took him off your team. Like, the Oilers aren't really that good with him on the team. Can you imagine how terrible they would be if he wasn't there?
Yeah, exactly. That's what, like if he went on to like literally any team in the East in like the Eastern Division, they'd win the cup. Like any team, and honestly the Central Division, I feel like they'd have a better, like, good chance of winning the cup. Like he's just that type of player. He's like LeBron
And then right
for
now
them.
in Edmonton, he can't even get out of the first round.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, not in that way, but being able to carry teams, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Playoffs.
But you need a goalie,
Yeah.
so it ain't great. Um, but all right, next award. Sorry, I got an update that the Yankees just knocked Shohei Ohtani out of the game. First inning.
Yeah, he got. I'm pretty sure he got
He
rocked.
got rocked. He did. All right, Calder Trophy. Kirill the Thrill, Kaprizov, my boy. So hit us with some stats, Joe. Do you think he deserved it, number one? And two, secondary question. Apparently, contract talks have gone cold with Kaprizov. Do you think he stays
Yeah.
in Minnesota? His contract is up.
I mean, I hope he stays in Minnesota. I mean, like, I feel like you waited this long to come to the NHL. He's 24. Just won Rookie of the Year. Like, why would you just want to leave and go to the KHL? Like, KHL's whack, in my opinion. Like this to show you, like, this is where you want to be. I don't get why you'd be anywhere else.
So do you think he
But
deserved the award?
yeah, I'd say he deserved the award. He had more goals, like 6 more points, and like 4 or 5 more games played than Jason Robertson. But I don't know. I just felt like Jason Robertson being 21, having 45 points to what Kaprizov's 51, and like 5 less games played. I mean, I feel like it should have got more attention. That's just me though.
All right, well,
Maybe just
fill some people in here that are maybe we have some hockey casuals or they have no idea what you're talking about. Who is Mr. Robertson?
Jason Robertson's a 21-year-old forward for the Dallas Stars. He put up 17 goals, 29 assists, and 46 points plus 13 in 51 games this season as a 21-year-old. But what do you get, like one first place vote
He just
out of
got
the
one.
100?
Kaprizov had
Yeah,
99 of
90,
them.
but Kaprizov's 24. I don't know. I just feel like age has a lot to do with it and like experience. But I mean, I thought he was going to win it. I believed it. I just thought that like it would have been closer.
Closer. So I think one thing that Kaprizov did that's like not measurable on stats was he made the Minnesota Wild like an electric team to watch.
Yeah.
Like he took them to another level. Like when he was out there, like I'm out here in the middle of winter watching the Minnesota Wild play like whatever, pick a random team, the St. Louis Blues. I don't care about either one of these teams. I just want to watch this guy play. And I think that's part of it because like who's the most relevant player Minnesota's had in the past like 10 seasons?
Zach Parise. Ryan Suter was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ryan Suter was actually a stud for a while.
Danny Heatley, maybe.
Stanley also,
Mikko
yeah. He was a
Koivu.
stud.
But like Ryan
Yeah,
Suter is a defenseman, so if you're not like a diehard NHL guy, like no one really turns on the game to watch Ryan Suter play like 25 minutes and just stick check people. Like, so all right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing. Like he was amazing at one point. Don't get me wrong, but no one's tuning in to watch him do that. Like Kaprizov was electric. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
his nickname is Kirill the Thrill. People, come on. What are we doing?
Come on.
But listen, I hope he does stay. Apparently, he doesn't want to sign an 8-year deal, I guess, which is similar to what Nugent Hopkins just signed.
I wouldn't want to be in Minnesota for 8 years either.
Yeah, I think he wants a short-term deal. I'm pretty sure he's an RFA, so another team could hand him an offer, but Minnesota could match it. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was another team, I would just give him like a 1-year deal,
Yeah, it
let
wouldn't
Minnesota
hurt.
match, and then he'll just be a UFA next year, and then you could be like, all right, here's the money.
Yeah, and see if Minnesota does anything in the offseason to do anything, put something around him. If they don't, peace.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine coming from Russia and you end up in Minnesota, which is the literal middle of nowhere?
Yeah, but I feel like hockey's big there out of like
Oh, it's
any,
big
like,
there.
most. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like they're probably used to it. Honestly, I feel like Russia is a lot of shit in the middle of nowhere. and it's cold
It
sometimes.
is
Makes
cold.
sense.
It is
Makes
cold.
sense. A lot of similarities, so honestly, it's probably a good spot to be for him.
You know, I didn't think about it that way. As someone who's a suburban Long Island guy, like there's 27-Elevens in like a 30-foot radius from my house. I could not
Yeah.
imagine having to drive more than 10 minutes to like get milk and bread. But I either that or listen, maybe I've never been to Minnesota. I don't know. I'm just assuming it's in that part of the country where there's like zero population at all times. So if you're from Minnesota and I'm totally wrong about that, please let me know. I'd be willing to accept whatever criticism comes with that. But to me, anything west of like Pennsylvania and anything east of like Utah is just like a town and then a road for like 40 miles and like one other house. So I don't know. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Let's move on though. Okay. The Vesna Trophy, Marc Andre Fleury. All right, so I'll give you some stats on him real quick. He had, oh, you ready, Joe? Goals allowed
Um,
under 2, very high save percentage. Just some other miscellaneous stats. Fourth most playoff wins in NHL history. Third most shutouts in NHL history. Third on the all times win list. I know those don't play into his per season um, you know, voting for the trophy, but I just wanted to throw that in there. It's the first time he's ever won the Vezina Trophy. He beat out Andrei Vasilevsky from the Tampa Bay Lightning, who's currently in the Stanley Cup final. So, do you think Fleury deserved this one?
well, when I looked at NHL's.com stats, I didn't think he did. And then I looked at like every other website stats, and I think he did. Because some reason NHL stats just have Vasilevsky as the better player. But yeah, I mean, Vasilevsky was like the favorite all throughout, mostly towards the end of the year, I felt like. So I was pretty surprised, honestly. But I thought Flower played really well this season, deserved it. So.
He did. I know this is the guy you attacked me on yesterday. Before I could even say anything, you were just like, "This is ridiculous." Vasilevsky, I'm like going off, and then I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm watching this video about it. I don't know. Like I don't know if you're wrong or the video is wrong. Then I check the internet and I'm like, dude, what is he looking at? Like I'm just trying to figure out if I'm not reading the chart right. And then leave it to the NHL that their own website, their own league official website, does not provide accurate statistical information on its own player. You can't make it up.
Yeah, when I first hopped on, you were like, "What? Like, what are you looking
Yeah.
at?" I was like, "What do you mean? What am I looking at?" Like, it's the league stats on the website. Like, I was so confused. But yeah, congrats to Flory, first time in his long career.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then the last one
I never,
here. Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
I never really thought he like. I feel like he's been really turning up on Vegas. I feel like when he played on Pittsburgh, like his last like 4 or 5 years, I really thought he was like on his last like legs. I thought like Vegas probably gave him like new life or something.
I was gonna say I think Pittsburgh thought that also because they let him go in the expansion draft.
Yeah, and he's kind of it sucks. He just won goalie of the year.
Yeah,
That's tough.
and he's been really good
And
since he got there.
Tristan Yar, you can't save the puck if it's shot over his shoulders.
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah, that does suck. That is true. Last award here, Norris Trophy, Adam Fox. All right, so he's a Ranger. We're Islander guys. I'm just gonna go out and say the way the trophy is given out is probably he should have won it because they look for offensive players. But Joe is gonna tell us why. Something needs to change with the formula here for the Norris Trophy.
Just like the best defenseman in the league. Like he wasn't the best defenseman. He was good at scoring points. I think he deserved the trophy because the trend the last few years is like what defenseman could do the most with scoring or put the puck in the net the most. So like props to him, but like defenseman like defensive stats, he wasn't. He was his numbers weren't up there with like top five, top. I don't know about top 10, but props to him. Good for him, I guess. Fuck the Rangers though.
So he had 47 points. He led all defensemen in assists. He had 42. He was second in power play assists, 21. Third in power play points, 23. He played about 24 minutes a night. He was a plus player for the Rangers. But what I think Joe is getting at here is it's the best defenseman award, and they just give it to the best offensive defenseman.
Exactly.
So, do you think there should be like a separate award, like one that Adam Fox maybe should win because he's the best offensive defenseman, and then one like for a defensive defenseman, or do you think the trophy has to be reworked to incorporate both sides equally, or like what do you think?
Honestly, mate, like I just feel like that's like two trophies. I feel like that's just like a whole drag for like offensive defenseman, defensive defenseman. But like, I just feel like the league does it because like no one wants to like give the award to a defenseman with like 20 to 30 points, but like no one like wants to like like go down his side or like shoot again, like score on him. Like I feel like that's like boring, and like the league doesn't really want that. Like they just want to like promote their players that are good, like star type players. If that makes sense.
And Adam Fox is a good player. He's a good player for the Rangers this year.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
But it's weird because you're like, I mean, this is I don't know because I don't live outside of New York, but like even in New York, this guy's not getting like a ton of hype. Like the way you would think he would though.
He was top 15 in like MVP voting.
Well, I know, but that's by people that actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah, you're right.
Like I feel like if you're not a diehard like hockey fan, you might not even know who that is. Like obviously Ranger fans do, but like other people,
no.
Yeah,
probably not. You're right. It's only his second year though, to be fair.
Well, that's what I mean. So I think that's part of what you're saying. The NHL is trying to promote their young players. He's definitely a good young player, and with him having the offensive season that he did, like it makes a lot of sense for them to vote him to this award.
Yeah, exactly. And like Cal McCarr second, like it's like the same trend.
Yeah. Yes. Cal McCarr is really good though.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy watching Cal McCarr play for sure.
Do you think if he played more games, he would have got more votes? Because he did miss out on a handful of games, which I think hurt him. You think he would have won
if he played the full season, he would have won it. I'm so positive he would have won it.
Well then.
Played on the best team in the league. Come on, Tim.
That is true. Case. My boys.
Played with Devon Case.
Colorado Avalanche.
Probably a fucking traffic cone because the Rangers organization has no depth.
Oh man, that's a tough transition, but we're gonna try it. So, yeah, you really left me hanging with that one. I'm not gonna lie, but that's all right. The people here just have a conversation. The way me and Joe try to set it up, same thing with me and Keith. It's just like, you know, you go meet two guys at a bar or whatever, and you're just chit-chatting about sports. So hopefully that's the way it comes up. And, you know, there's always that guy at the bar that doesn't think that someone deserves something else, and then you get into a big sports argument over it. So if you're one of those Ranger fans listening, you're probably, like, about to go off. And that's what we're trying to do.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm saying wasn't the best defensive defenseman.
Yes,
wasn't the best.
Okay. The award is flawed.
Defenseman.
Gotcha.
Was not.
Obviously, we have the Stanley Cup going on right now. Game 2 is tonight. So, Joe, what did you see from Game 1? What is your outlook on the rest of the series? I know you told me you have money on the Canadians, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I would do that. But
well, that was after a heartbreaking Game 7 loss. I was just really just frustrated. And then, you know, watching the Canadians lose 5-1 the first game, it hurts. It hurts to like be like, oh, I'm probably gonna lose money. It's be like, I might. But like, honestly, like I've never given Montreal credit. I feel like through the season, like I was like, even the last podcast, I was like, no way they won 2 games in a row. They won 2 games in a row and moved on. That sucks. But so like, I'm just hoping that like they prove me wrong and just win. Like,
all right, so you're trying some reverse psychology on them.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you there. Listen, so there was a really good Nikita Kucherov stat that was going around the internet here. So he is only one of 3 players in NHL history to have scored 30-plus points in consecutive postseasons. The other 2 players are Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. So what does that say about how dominant Kucherov is?
Shows that he really shows up in the playoffs, and yeah, it's about it. He's kind of really good player, really good player.
Where would you put him in terms of like best players in the league? Like McDavid's 1, I would assume, right? Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
Is he number 2?
No.
No.
I put 3, 4, or 5, one or the other.
All right. Who do you
One
have
of them.
2?
Probably McKinnon.
Okay. All right, that's reasonable. I don't know. I just feel like when Kucherov's healthy, he's like he takes that team to another level.
Yeah, but he's also on a team with like another 5 All Stars.
This is true. Yeah, can't deny that.
But yeah, so like I won't take anything away from like yeah, obviously like when he's on like probably one like is yeah top 2, top 3 best players in the league. But like he has his off days and the team struggles when he struggles. So
Yeah.
and he's playing with like Braden Point, Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman.
Andre Palat, Alex Killorn,
Yeah.
Vasilevsky.
Lawrence hurt tonight, so I'm
Yes.
hoping Montreal like takes advantage of that. That'd be huge.
How about Tampa Bay sports right now, though? Rays first place. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like literal all-star team. Tampa Bay Lightning, really good.
That's bullshit. It's literally Tom Brady could have literally picked any fucking place in the world to form a fucking super team for football, and he picks fucking Tampa. It's like, all right, so Boston just won the 2010s. Let's watch Tampa win every fucking trophy in the 2020s now. Such bullshit.
Damn, it sounds like I got to get Joe Wilson on the football podcast here. I didn't realize that you were that sensitive to Tom Brady.
No, I just never like. Obviously, he's the goat. Yeah, just fuck Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's a New York thing.
Yeah, it is a New York thing.
Yeah, you guys are really insecure about it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
like,
you, though.
Whenever he wants. So let's just pick apart the Jets and make every fan feel like a piece of shit. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. But look, I think that wraps it up in terms of hockey stuff we got going on. So Game 2, like I said, is tonight. By the time you listen to this, Game 2 might have happened already. But either way, all the information is still relevant previous to this. Me and Joe are going to monitor what happens with the Stanley Cup. Because obviously, by the time we record next week, it literally might be over. So, we're kind of going to see what happens here. But like we said at the beginning, if you like the episode or the show, make sure you subscribe on YouTube to the channel, like the video, watch the video, hit play and then walk away. Whatever. I don't care. Just get on the video. If you're an Apple, Spotify guy. Yeah, exactly. If you're an Apple, Spotify guy, rate, review, follow, subscribe, etc. Check out the website, beakbrands.com. Written content is there, as well as the podcast. And follow Beak Brands on social media. All right, so me and Joe will be back, TBD. And until then, enjoy the 4th of July.